and a black Gemara. Today's daf is daf mem dalid, and daf mem dalid. It's a Mishnah. Sorry, the Gemara on top of the page. We read the Mishnah Machlekes Shammai. According to Shammai, the moment you conceived in your mind that you would like to steal this pekudin that you're minding, you want to be shalech yad. Not only you don't need a sudden, not only you don't have to actually take anything from it, as long as you moved it, you became a ganav. But more than that, if you're even just thinking of becoming a shalech yad, you're already ganav according to the Shammai. Basil says no, you have to physically take it because it says the pasuk im loy sholach yodim b'melech. You have to physically take it. And the second day of the Mishnah will come back to the minute. Says the Gemara, how do you know that just thinking is enough? So we learned the pasuk is a kol dvar pesha. A kol dvar pesha. What's the word dvar? Dvar also the word dibur, talking. Just talking, just thinking is already considered an act. You're already chayv. Just thinking of stealing it. And this is the basis for many Rishonim that say when the Mishnah says you thinking doesn't necessarily mean thinking, it means actually saying the word, verbalizing. And the basis is because the pasuk we learned for which word in the pasuk dvar, which is dibur. And Basil says, no, you have to physically actually take it. It says, if you did not sholach yodeyu, then you stretch your hand out to work with your friend's item. Shammai Basil says, I'll call dvar pesha. Shammai says dvar. But I have a proof to me. It corroborates my opinion. But only if you were shalech yad. According to Basil, what does he do with the word dvar pesha? In Canaan, so I'll call dvar pesha. What do you mean dvar pesha? I would have thought who? I would have thought only if you yourself. When if you told your slave or you told your shliach, do it for me. No, but normally we have a rule: a shliach ain't shliach dvar vera. I'll call dvar pesha. Even just instructing someone, in this case, yesh shliach dvar avera. If you tell your shliach, go ahead and use this thing that I'm minding, it's an avera as if you did it yourself. We'll count it as if you did it. Where memdalad about aleph, the 2 dots, about 10 lines at the top of the page. The Mishnah then told us a new case. If you tilt the barrel, you didn't make a kinyan, you just tilted the barrel. Then we say, in order to become a ganif, you have to make a kinyan. So you just tilted the barrel and you took let's say 1 cup of wine, since you were not koine of the barrel, so whatever you took, that for your ganif on that cup of wine, but for the rest of the barrel, you're not a ganif. So if you put it back, and then it falls or whatever it is, or it broke even when you tilted it, you are potter. You're a shem chinam, right? So you're potter for accidents, and the only thing you are liable for is what you stole. And you stole a revius. Why? Because we learned many times, in order to be considered a ganif or shlech yad, you have to do a kinyan that had you purchased it, that would have demonstrated a sign of ownership. Not tilted, hita, if you tilted it. So you say tiltul or tilted? No. The moment you move that, it's mashicha. Oh yeah, if you tipped it so the barrel still in its original place, yeah, exactly. So there's no kinyan there. But the Mishnah then said, if you lifted the barrel, even though you only took 1 cup of wine, the moment you lifted it, you became now responsible for the entire barrel. Even though you only took 1 cup of wine, if the barrel falls out of your hands and it breaks, you are liable for the entire barrel. Says the Gemara, only if it broke by mistake. So therefore we say that since you didn't make a kinyan, you're not liable. As a result of you taking out 1 cup of wine, so there's less wine in the barrel. Now the rest of the wine turns sour. Then mishalim is cooler. You pay for the entire barrel. Why? This is no longer considered an accident. My time, Magida today, your effort, your strength, who the hanle is what made it's less wine in the barrel. It turns sour more quickly, or ferments quickly, and therefore you're responsible. Higbia, the notzel heimena. What happens? You lifted the barrel and you took from it only 1 cup. You're not, and then it breaks, an accident. You're responsible for the entire barrel because the moment you lifted it and you shalech yad, even though you only took 1 cup, you're responsible. How much more small? You don't even have to take 1 cup of wine. If you picked it up in order to take it, even though you didn't take it, you're still chayiv. This sounds like shlichus yad einot sichach son. We had an argument before. If you're shalech yad, you made the kinyan and you wanted to take, but you haven't yet taken it. Do you actually need the chesaron, or you don't need the chesaron? So the Gemara, it sounds to me, it holds you don't need the chesaron. So can we determine from here that's what he holds? Amri says, no. That's very interesting. Shmuel, generally speaking, if you did not you wanted to take you picked up the item that belongs to the owner, and you wanted to take something from it, but if you did not take anything from it, you're not yet liable. Shlichus yad needs a chsar, except the case of the wine. Why should the case of wine be different? Because when you took one cup, if you would have taken one cup of wine and you didn't want to drink it straight away, where are you going to store the wine? The best place to store that cup of wine is back in the barrel, the rest of the wine, because it preserves it. So we'll treat it as if you took a cup of wine and you put it back. Because every second, once you pick it up, every second the wine that you wanted to take is still sitting in the barrel. You're benefiting from it for that cup of wine. Why? Because now it's not turning sour. So therefore, it's as if you took it and put it back. It's as if you'd made a chsar in it. I wanted to take it straight away because I wanted to remain, preserve it till I actually drink it or whatever. Shiny hocha de nichele, you're happy. The teva hachavas kula bus is lahaviz. You don't mind at all. The rest of the barrel is a basis for this revius. Boy, Rav Ashi said, does that only apply to a case of wine? What about the following case? You picked up a purse, little a dinner. The intention was to steal one dinner. The purse had, let's say, 100 dinner inside. You only want to steal one dinner. But the thing is, you didn't take it. Now, shlichus yad needs chsar, even though you picked up the purse, and then let's say something happened and it's an Venus or a stone, Hashem Echinim is potter, but you intended to take a couple of dinim out of there, but you didn't. The shlichus yad needs chsar. So what's the shaila? You're not yet shalech yad. The shaila is, if you want to take some coins, but you're not going to spend it straight away, where's the best place to keep the coins? Together with the bulk of the money, because it's much more protected. When you have a lot of money, you watch it much more closely than if you have a couple of coins, loose change. So therefore, can we treat it like wine, that as if you took it, but you decided to put it back, because that's the best place for the wine that I want to drink, where it should sit? Do you say the same thing by a coin or not? Because here by a coin is sort of extraneous. It's not the coin itself will stay better. It's I will be more careful, and minded better while it's still sitting in that purse. So how do we deal with that? By wine, the wine itself that you took, it itself improves or is maintained because of leaving it in the barrel. The money itself is the same. It's something extraneous to the money that is improved. How do we treat that? Wine can only be preserved other wine. But money is generally protected. You watch a wallet, a purse full of money, much better than if you watch just a couple of coins. Teiku remains a question. Hadin halacha mafkid. That's engine mafkid. Yeah. Yes. Now we're starting Hazov, then Ezer Nesha. These are two very relevant prokim, but also they're through commercial law and all that. Especially Ezer Nesha, laws of usury. But they're not easy Gemara, so let me just give you a quick introduction. First of all, we learned there's a number of kinyanim, and there's a big argument. Rabbi Yechon Lakish, we'll see later as well. Rabbi Chaydes will have later on. Is Mahat. How are you acquiring metaltlin? Things which are mobile, portable. How do you acquire it? One way of learning is that kesef is kind of mehatera. That money is the way you're kind of metaltlin. But the Rabbanan said, you know what? We insist that the only way you're kind of metaltlin is meshicha, by pulling it and bringing it. Why? Why not the money? Because the vendor, if he has your money, you didn't take it yet. If there's a flood, a fire, he'll say, I have to go mucha, I have to go and exert myself to save your wheat. Why would I do that? So no, you're responsible. It's still your wheat, the vendor's wheat, until he actually transfers it physically to the other person. Now within that is a machlekes of kesef is kind of rabban, and the other one, the other opinion says no, that mahatayda Mashiach is the right king. Now, another thing is that you cannot be kind of money. You cannot be kind of money. You can be kind of metaltlin. Metaltlin is something is that you are kind of, but you're not kind of money. So in other words, if I give you money, since money is not kind, if I give you, let's say, money to buy metaltlin, I give money to buy metaltlin. If I gave you the money, I wasn't kind of the metaltlin. So according to the Tanakhama, either one of us can change their mind. The vendor can say, you know what, I change my mind. Prices are going up, take your money back. Or the buyer can say, prices are going down, give me my money back. Because a kinyan hasn't happened yet. But if I made a mashicha on the metaltlin, then we no longer change our mind. Even the price goes up, price goes down, neither of them can change their mind because it became already, the ownership has been transferred. But what? I have a debt. In the moment I made mashicha, I now owe you money. So therefore, it's an expression as if I'm kind of the metaltlin, you're kind of the money, even though I didn't give it to you yet. But that means I owe you. There's a right for the money or a debt of the money. But if you're kind of the money, you're not kind of the metaltlin because we can change our mind. Man is not kind of. So there's an interesting discussion here in the Mishnah. If we're making a swap, you have gold coins and I have silver coins, and we make a change. It's 25 silver dinar for every gold dinar. And I want to say, it's too much money. I have a lot of loose change here. So I want to swap it. Which one is considered the money and what is considered the commodity? Yeah, the scheda. What's the scheda? Which is the money, the commodity, and which is the commodity? Which is the merchandise? And nafkamina is, if I gave you the money, then nothing happened. We can both share in mind. If you took the merchandise, so if I have silver and gold, which is the money and which is the thing? You can argue both ways. You can define that money is the one that is more chashiv. It's more chashiv. It's more valuable. So then the gold is more valuable. So gold will be the money, and silver would be the commodity. If silver is the commodity and gold is the money, then if I received the gold, nothing happened because it was money. But if I took the silver, then that's it. The transaction took place. I owe you now a debt of gold, which is the money. But there's another way of learning the other way around. That the silver is the money. Why? Because that's useful everywhere. If you have $100 bill, it's a lot. It's especially in America now. A lot of stores don't want to take it. They don't trust them. Counterfeit is too hard to use. They want smaller denominations. So, it's much easier to spend a smaller denomination than a larger denomination. Even though in Australia now they want to phase out cash altogether, which I don't understand anyway. People lose the value of money, among other reasons. Plus, they charge you for the credit card, so they get it always louder.
In the times of Gemara, in olden times, the money itself had an inherent value. It's gold, or silver, or copper. Today, where the money itself is worth a piece of paper, or it just represents, does it have the same bin in Kenyan
as it once did? Same, because even then,
electronic points in a bank account. That's
like a check. I'm trying to point in the bank out. Let's say Bitcoin would be just no different than check.
There's no actual physical material that changes place.
That doesn't matter, but it's still the same money just because it's...
Is that because it's accepted as a fiat?
Yeah,
or is that because there is some inherent...
As we'll see tomorrow later, that when we believe in inflation, we believe the money is static. The inflation is the commodities, is the buying power, because the merchandise has gone up and down in value, but money is always fixed. That's how the Gemara looks at inflation.
So
not that
you have to say that when the price of gold matters.
So interesting, like the currencies don't go up and down in value. Currencies don't go up and down in value, even though we say every day that the Australian dollar versus American dollar changes all the time. But we say that
one currency
within the buying power here, if you buy less or more, it has to do with the value of the commodities, and that's very important. So let's now look at the Gemara, the Mishnah, and we'll see that Rebbe himself changed his mind. At one point of his life, he believed that gold is money because it's more chashuv, and another point in life, he decided, no, silver is money because it's more useful. It's prevalent everywhere, as opposed to copper, which is not prevalent everywhere. Okay, said the Mishnah, Hazav koines hakesef, that gold is considered the commodity, and kesef is the money. So if we're gonna make a swap, gold and silver. One of us is buying the silver, one of us is buying the gold. The gold is the metalplate. So therefore, hazav, if you make a mashiach on the gold, kohen is a kesef. The other guy now has the money. I'm not giving him the money yet. So that means I owe him the money, because the money is the money. But hakesef, the one who took the silver, the other guy didn't take the gold yet. So if I took the silver, in other words, I took the money yet, no kinyan happened. Ain't no kinyan says love. The gold has not been gold and metalton. The only way to become metalton is by mashiach or agbah, to move it, and therefore there was no kinyan that you can both change your mind. That's din number one. Din number two. Now, what about copper versus silver? Copper versus silver. Hanechoishes koines hakesef. The choishes is compared to silver. The choishes is considered the commodity, and the choishes is the merchandise. Therefore, the moment you took the copper, the deal is sealed. You owe the money. Oh, but hakesef is going to choishes. But the silver is not koines than the choishes. Din number three. Mois harois koines is hayafis. Din number three is that mois harois, poor quality money. Rashi learns over here poor quality money means that, let's say, it's been disqualified by the government or is becoming obsolete, so it's very hard to spend. The Mukiesa brings others showing the Ravid and others, the Rajba hold that what does it mean, Mois Rois? That the quality of the coin itself. lost its luster, it's rusting, and so on and so forth. No, not the Tzura printer. That's the next one. It's rusty. It's whatever. The coin itself deteriorated. Either way, Moyes is considered the commodity. It's not really a money because it's harder to spend, even though it is still currency, but it's much more difficult to spend. So therefore, when you compare the two, everything's comparing the two. So for example, Big Machlekes the Shainim, Rabbi Hai and others, copper and gold, which is the commodity and which is the money in that case there. Okay, Mois Harois, the poor quality money, is considered metalpin, coin is the Yafis. That's the Kenyan. But Yafis, the better quality money, that's money. Ain't a Harois, so that you can't, it's not a Kenyan. Next one, Asiman. Machlekes is showing what Asiman is. I mean, Tam Rashi, Asiman, according to Rashi, is you ready, the coin is all ready to go, it just needs to be minted. You didn't put yet on the coin the picture of the king or whatever it is. So the thing is, it's about to be a coin compared to a coin that's already minted. Others say no, that it was already minted, but it faded away. So it's still a coin currency, but compared to a fresh coin where you can see the date, you can see exactly which country it is, and so on and so forth. Obviously, is easier to use. So it's whichever way you learn there, you learn differently here. Asiman kindness and matbeya. So asiman compared to matbeya, asiman is not the money, and matbeya any kind of asiman. So the principle is really the same. The one that's more prevalent, easy to use as a standard, that's called money. The one that's more difficult to use or less used, that's called commodity, merchandise. Metaltlin kindness and matbeya. Now he gives the rule. Metaltlin is kind of the matbeya because metaltlin mishich is a kinyan, but matbeya is kind of metaltlin. But money is not kind of metaltlin, and we'll see later. Matoidim and Rabban says the cloud. Call a metaltlin kind of that all metaltlin are kind of each other. You can buy two ways of buying metaltlin. One way is chalipin. Here, one against the other. One way is buying. What's a chalipin buying? Chalipin, we don't care the value. You give the Rav a gartel and you sell him all your whiskey in your house. You whiskey worth thousands of dollars, but one gartel is worth $5 is chalipin. The other way of buying it is barter. $100 worth of whiskey, in return, give me $100 worth of something else.
The chiluf is that this gargle now represents that item which I'm being told. It's not that it's valuable.
That's called chalipin. That's so it's a different kinyan than mois. In fact, in Kedushin Avov, all the Rishonim, the Teisari and others, the Ma'abim Maluyim, they try to understand as chalipin ancillary to kesef, or was it a totally different kinyan? Yeah, it was a totally different kinyan. Anyway, because it says over there, a woman is not designed to become a Kiddush with chalipin. Anyway, let's continue. Once we know the principle in the Mishnah, the rest of the Gemara is a little bit easier. We have to understand the principles. Let's say you made a mashich on the fruits, but you didn't give me the mais yet. Why? Because you already claimed the paydas. The deal has been done. It's been transacted. Nobody can change your mind. If I paid you for this merchandise that I wanted, I paid you for it. I did not pay this. I didn't yet make a mashich on the paydas. Either party can change their mind because nothing happened. Money is not a kinyan. But this is what we learned of Memtes. We'll learn more later on. A word, what happens to the word is a bond, and this is more than just a word. There's three stages. One is a word. Okay, I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead. I thought I'll keep my word. Okay, we'll see. Hein said, we'll see later. But if I gave you my word, and I actually gave you money for it, true money is not a kinyan, but I did a pool, I did an act to back up what I said, then we say a biggest curse, that the Eibishter who punished those people in the flood, in the time of the flood, and we'll see later what's the connection to that. We give him a curse of curses. Because this is more than just dibur, more than just a word. You actually did something to support it. Shimon says, Shimon says, no, you're right. If you paid only money, it's not yet the kinyan, but only one of them can change the mind. The one who has the money. So the vendor who has the money can say, no, I'll take your money back. But the buyer, once he gave the money, said Shimon, he can no longer say, okay, I want my money back, give me a refund, I changed my mind. You have forfeited your rights by giving the money. That's what we always say, never pay until you know 100% sure you want it. What did Shimon hold? We'll see in the morning. Okay, so the Gemara that this time we started off saying that Zov is considered the commodity and the silver is the money is not so poshut. Could Rebbe had a change of heart? Says the Gemara. Masne Rebbe Shimon Berei. Rebbe was learning with Shimon the son. Hazov koines akes, and he learned the Mishnah like here. This is Rebbe, Rebbe learning the Mishnah, this version, that gold buys kesef. Gold is the merchandise, gold is the schayra, and kesef is the money. Amalei Rebbe, his son called him my teacher. Interesting, because we had before the Gemara in the Mishnah in the Flam Gimel that if your father teaches you as well, then your father is greater than your Rebbe. So you should call him Avimaidi, not just Rebbe. So they also, there's the they will talk about this here. If a son should call, if the father teaches him, should call him Rebbe because Rebbe is greater than the father. But in the Mishnah, we know that a father who's a teacher as well is even greater than a Rebbe. So, I don't know. Anyway, he says, Father, you told us when you were younger, when I was much younger, that I had kesef zav. Your version there was the other way around. That kesef was the commodity and zav is the money. Why? Because zav is more chashuv. The question was chshivus. That's what makes it money, more desirable. People would rather have gold than silver. And now you go ahead and you changed when you get older. How's kesef? That's what he said. Now Rebbe didn't answer, so we don't know what Rebbe said. But obviously, this is the later one. I mean, this is what halach is. Or that's what Rebbe wants. So Gemara wants to know what was Rebbe thinking and what was his last thought. The Yaldusim myself or Beziknusim myself. What was his thinking originally, and what was he thinking now? The Yaldusim, when he was younger, he thought to have the chashi. The question is, the focus should be which is more valuable. Have it tiva. It's more desirable. People want gold, so gold is the money, and kasper the chashuv have it paid. And silver, which is not as desirable, it's not so chashuv. That's considered money. Sorry, that's the commodity. The commodity. That's the schayla. So therefore, and we know the rule: the konele paid tiva, and therefore we know the rule is that when you pull the paydas, then it's a valid kinyan, and now you owe the money. But Zignusi, so he got older, he thought, you know what? Kasper, I guess when he got into the business world, he realized how the world actually works, not just the world of academia, but the world of theory, but the world of reality. As desirable as gold is, silver is the going currency. The chadif havi tiba, whichever is more available, more prevalent, and easier to spend, that is money. The hava, the loy chadif havi paid. But gold, which is not so available, not everybody wants gold. Everybody wants, that you have to be more careful or whatever. It becomes more difficult to spend. That is considered payda. That is payda. The konle payda letiva, for the gold, which is the payda, it kind of the money. So even though in those days the coins have intrinsic value, but that's not how people looked at it. They know what the value is, but they looked at it as something that you can use wherever you want. In other words, metalton, even though we learned before shavak kesef, but not everybody wants it. This particular item that you have, not everybody needs it, not everybody wants it. Money, there's not a person in the world who's not going to take money because money can be used on anything. That's the difference between money and metalton. Metalton is what it is. Money is what it represents. Doesn't matter that money also has an intrinsic inherent value. It's what it represents. Exactly. Says says, it makes more sense that gold should be considered money because it's more desirable. Look at the next case in the Mishnah. Now, the chayshes buys money, which means silver, which means that silver is considered the commodity, right? And the chayshes is considered the money. The Chayshes is the commodity and silver is the money. So if you took the copper, now why is kesef considered money? Because kesef is more chashuv than the chayshes. So we see it has to do with chashivus. If you can tell me that money, that silver, compared to gold, is considered a commodity, that's why you need the Mishnah to tell you a chiddush. Why is the Mishnah telling this? It's the exact same principle. The Mishnah tell you a chiddush. That even on case number one, the way it should was the first version of Rebbe. In case number one, silver was considered a commodity, but compared to copper is the commodity and silver is the money because it's more chashiv. So you see, the Mishnah is teaching you a chiddush here. Then Hainikotani, the chayshis coins, even though the Gabidava paid even compared to gold, the silver is because gold is more chashiv. Right now, it's going to Yaldusik. That gold is chashiv, silver is not so chashiv. So silver is a chayda. But the chiddush is the very same silver that is considered merchandise compared to gold, but compared to copper, this is considered money, right? Because it's more desirable than copper. Okay, we understand. We understand the lineup in the Mishnah of this is trying to prove. Eliam can tell me the cost of the but you can tell me that silver compared to gold is money. That silver, even though it's not chashuv, but because it's so prevalent, that's the main focus, right? The usefulness and different coins. Compared to gold, we're saying silver is money. What do you think compared to copper? Compared to copper, silver has two milas. It's more prevalent and it's more chashuv. So of course that's considered money. The chashiv and tivas money. The gabi the chashiv, if you compare silver to gold, silver to copper, that chashiv has both milas. First of all, it's more desirable, and plus it's more useful. The boy, what did the mission tell us for? But therefore, Rebbe's first version makes more sense, and that's how you should learn a mission. Second, no raya. There's a chiddush involved in silver and copper as well. And what is that chiddush? Itzich, we needed Savram and thought, Hani Pritas. It depends where you are. In poorer areas, for example, people generally deal with copper. And more than, or equal to silver, or more than silver. So therefore, we would have thought that in those areas, copper should be considered the money rather than the silver. That's what we would have thought. And the Mishnah says, no, that silver is good money. Why? And why taka then? Think like this. I would have thought, in those places, there are certain places that copper is more available and more used than silver, mikas more than silver. Maybe in those regions at least, let copper should be the money. Basel Mishnah says no. And why taka not? Silver is used everywhere. Even in those places where they use copper, silver is still used also as a means of buying things, has purchasing power. And since there are some places that copper is not used at all, therefore, overall, we view copper compared to silver, that copper is the merchandise. Pay to have it. There was no right in one way or another. Says he also holds that the Hava Tiva Hava. He also holds like the first version of Rebbe that gold is the money because it's more desirable. How do I know that? Could the Rav Oisif very quickly? When you borrow money, $100, you're not allowed to pay back 110 because that is considered ribis. If I borrow a saw of wheat, I'm not allowed to make up with you. I'm going to pay you back a saw of wheat. I have to make up with you whatever the price is. It's worth $100. I owe you $100. And if I pay you with wheat, $100 worth of wheat at that time, because if I say, okay, I borrow, let's say, a saw of wheat. I'm borrowing, let's say, 2 kilos of wheat, and I pay you back 2 kilos of wheat. If it's a loan, not a shayla. If it's a loan, then if the wheat price goes up, I just pay you ribis. So therefore, but when it comes to money, if I borrow from you $100 and a year later the currency goes up or down, whatever it is, no problem. You know why? Because we believe the currency hasn't gone up. The currency doesn't move. It's the buying power that changed. So the commodities have gone up in price, for example. If now or the other way around, there's commodity prices went down, and therefore, so money there's no ribas by money. But there is an exception, saw by saw, and that is if I borrow from you a saw of wheat, a measure of wheat. But at the time, I had saw in my house. I just couldn't get to it. I had no access to it. So it's as if I already paid you back, but I'm holding it for you. Therefore, there's no ribis. So if I borrow from you a saw of wheat, and I say I'll pay back in a year a saw of wheat, it's not a problem of ribis. Why? Because I have a saw in my backyard. And because I have a saw in my backyard, it's as if I already gave you back the saw the moment I borrowed from you. I'm just holding it for you for another year. So there's no ribis. Okay, bear that in mind, and let's go back here now. So what happened was, Rab Chia was the uncle of Rab. So Rab Chia's daughter is the first cousin of Rab. So Rab Chia saw the Rab Oiziv didn't even buy Rab Chia. Rab once borrowed money from the daughter of Chia. L'soif ayaka dinner. And what happened was that the dinner went up in value. Also, the currency went up. He went to Rab Chia. Can I pay you back? I borrowed it from her, let's say, one dinner, but now a dinner is worth more. My buying power is much better. Can I pay you back a dinner? Is that ribis? Amalei, dinner is made out of silver. Amalei said, Amalei said, dinner is money. We'll see in a minute what it is. Silver is a dinner. Dinner is gold, but is it considered money or is it paid? Amalei said, Zil shalom tovim vet killing. Give it back the dinner. I don't care, up or down. Give it back the dinner. Now, if you tell me that that gold is money because it's more desirable, the way Rebbe learned when he was young, shop it. Makes sense because money stays static. It's the buying power that changes because the commodities go up and down in value. Eliyam, you can tell me that paid out, you can tell me that what gold, like this is now Mishnah here. Zav coin is a kesef. That means that gold is considered the schayda. How will they saw? Then schayda, you're not allowed to pay back to the same. You're not allowed to say I'm going to borrow saw a wheat and I'm going to pay back to a wheat. But also, someone answers, no, this is the case of the exception. Rav didn't have. He had money sitting in his money. Could be that gold is a commodity. It's chayra. but he had gold stashed away somewhere. A term deposit, he couldn't get to it till another month. The key in the Havladin in Nasagam Hilbani Bani or since he has the money, it's as if he already paid it back, and he's just holding it for it. And therefore there's no dibbisin, no proof one way or another. High talent, the following talent, some hold the habit the following talent also, like Rebbe when he was young. All these attempts to prove, like Rebbe when he was young, that gold is more desirable. It's chashivas that counts, and that's why gold is money. What's a prut? We also had in kedushin have echad mishmayna asa betalki. A prut is an eighth of an Italian iser. But because Issa is an Italian Issa. L'mayin have to what we need to know that. L'kedush Isha, because what's the minimum you have to use money to make Kaddish a woman? A pruta. We need to know the value of a pruta. Okay. Issa, what's the value of an Issa? Echad me'esrim va'abo bedinner shel kesef. An Issa is a 24th of a silver dinner. L'mayin have what you know of that. We need to know that. L'mekach memcher. That, for example, if this guy sold me a dinner, if you sold me dinner silver and you charge me more than 24 isin, starts bordering into the I know. If it's a sixth, with the deal for you have to give me back whatever it is. If you fall apart, and more than six.
Why are we saying that? We're saying it's only
because you're right. It could have, but it was not common to buy people to buy produce and all that.
Buy cheap stuff in the market and a couple of nuts.
Okay, could be. You could have said as well.
Districts where they're not going to deal with proper coins because they're poor people.
Okay, so if it was a six, you got to get back the money. If it's more than a six, the whole deal dissolves. Then he continues. What does that do with Algamar? Nothing. Then he continues. Then he says, whenever it says dinner, it could be silver or gold. We don't know what dinner is unless you spell it out. And dinner should how much is dinner of silver? A dinner of gold is equivalent of 25 silver dinar. Now we know a shekel is 4 dinar. So if the Torah says by opinion you got to give 5 shkolim, that's 20 dinar. So why does that mean? What do you mean? It's 4/5 of a golden dinner. So bottom line is it's 4/5 of a golden dinner is what you have to give to opinion ben. Because a shekel is 4 dinar, 5 shkolim is 20 dinar, 25 shkolim. Sorry, 25 dinar is equal of 1 dinar of gold. So how much do you have to give to a coin? 4/5 of 1 golden dinner. Oh, we have in America. You have a nickel and a dime and all that. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
100 cents, $1. Finished. In England, you have 3 of these makes 1 of those, 2.5 of these make 6 of those, 6 of those makes 1 of these.
Okay. Now, if you're going to tell me you tell me that what? That it's considered that gold is money, is tana. So gold is money. So you're telling you silver. How many silver dinar are there in a gold? In other words, really, how much you have to pay? 4/5 of a golden dinner. But if golden dinner is real money, then it makes sense why we have to know how much you have to pay for opinion of Ben. 4/5 of a golden dinner, because that's the money. That's what the Torah wants to do. 4/5 of a ton of the kites. Money is always fixed. Money, remember, does not go up and down, does not oscillate, is not volatile. It's the purchase power that's volatile. Yeah, Liam, it paid to have. He told me that tzachakal golden thing is only paid as it's only a commodity. Why in the world would you tell me that pidyon ben is 4/5 of gold in it? Today's worth 1 price. Tomorrow's worth 1 price. How do you work it out? Mishai Tana b'midi the is zeal. You're going to use as your barometer something that keeps on changing its value. Zimmer the mahadlik hanas in the ma'isla. Sometimes you have to give more to the coins, or give less to the coins because he reimburse you, because 4/5 of a golden dinner, if golden dinner is sachakos chayre, it goes up and down in price. Well, what kind of business? What kind of halach is that? At least definitely this brisa holds that gold is the currency, and therefore makes sense that pinyan ben is 4/5 of a golden dinner. Okay, doesn't prove anything about Rebbe or the Mishnah, but that's the brisa. Sometimes we learn. Beishamai says like Yasa Adam Slayim Dinidis of. Beishamai says that you should not swap Slayim. You should not swap Slayim to Dinidis of. Let's say you have your Maisa money. You have to go to Shalim, and you change your fruits into Slayim. Now Slayim is silver, and you have a lot of Slayim. You have a lot of money. You'd rather change it to gold, which is far less easier to transport, easier to carry with you to the Shalim. Says Shama, you cannot change Slayim into golden dinner. We can't do that. We'll see why not. But Yasser Basil says Matin. Basil says you're allowed to. Now as a machlek the Yechel Shlakish, What happens there? One of them says machlekes. The machlekes is sloim. You want to change sloim? Al dinin on golden coin. You want to change seller of kesef to golden coins. Beishamai holds. Beishamai says that you cannot do that. Why not? Because he says kaspa tiva, silver. That's money. The dava payda, like the Mishnah here, and gold is payris, and the Torah says that you should take the money with you. You're not going to take money of Ma'aser Sheni and revert it back to paydas and take it up to Yerushalayim. He says v'tzarta hakesef b'yochel. You can convert your Ma'aser Sheni into money, but you cannot convert Ma'aser Sheni money back into paydas and bring that to Yerushalayim. There's a paydas, so therefore you cannot change it to gold. The tiva apayda lemechalin, and we can do that by course of Ma'aser Sheni. But Basil holds that Kaspa is paydas. He holds that silver, that's paydas. And Dava TV, he holds that gold is money, which is the way Rebbe learned initially, that gold is considered the money, right? Because it's more chashuv. Now it makes sense. The Basil says you can transfer your silver coins into gold coins because you're allowed to swap your fruits into money to take it with you to the Shalim.
Does that mean, sorry, can I ask, that he can swap money, or according to Beis Hillel, he should swap it because you meant to take money?
That's only if it's up to you. If you want to take the original fruits, no problem. And even or any fruits, no problem. It's only once you convert it into money, you don't have to take money. You can take. It says if you transfer it to money, then take the money with you to the Shalim because you cannot spend it anywhere else. But you don't have to. But Basil says that you can swap the silver coins into gold coins because gold coins are considered money compared to silver. Silver is considered payers, so you're allowed to do that. Basil holds kaspa pay the davativa money, gold is money. Well, pay you take fruits and transfer it to money. In other words, like Rebbe's first version, that so Basil holds version that gold is the money. I will pay this out dividend, but what about taking fruits and changing it to let's say to go to taking fruits and changing it to silver? Dividend hakel, everyone holds mechalin because silver compared to fruits. Everyone holds is the original fruits you had. You want to swap it over, let's say, to dinner, no problem. You're allowed to do it. My timer. Sorry, if you want to change it to gold coins, compare a gold coin to fruits, everyone holds. Even Shammai said that gold compared to silver is not money, it's a commodity, but everyone holds that compared to fruits, gold is considered money, it's a currency. You're allowed to swap the original fruits to gold. That's one opinion. Just like money when it comes to Basil. Silver, avagav the kaspel gabi dava. Even though silver gabi gold is money, yet payda have the gabi payda. You're allowed to take fruits and transfer it to silver. You're allowed to take fruits and transfer it to silver, even though silver compared to gold is paydas. But compared to paydas, it's money. So tiva have is money. Zav nami. So zav nami the beishamai. So the same when it comes to gold, according to beishamai, the principle is the same. It's all relative. So when Beishamai says before that gold is considered payra, that's only compared to silver. But if you compare gold to fruits, of course, gold is considered money. Beishamai got the dabla, got the kasa payra, it's fruit, the gabi payra, tibav, it's money. That's one view. The Chadam and the other one says no. They have that according to Beishamai, you cannot transfer payras to money to gold because gold is another form of payras. Ave payras al din in machlekes. So the one who says Ave payras in machlekes. So that's the question. The one who says that even fruits you cannot change to gold according to Beishamai because gold is not money. Only Beishamai gold is money. So why argue about changing silver to gold? To a bigger chiddush that even fruits to gold Beishamai says you can. Why argue about taking silver and changing it to gold? Argue about taking fruits and changing that to gold. Says the Gemara. If they would argue only in the case of fruits, if you can change the gold, how they would have thought, okay, you know they still argues here because they still holds that gold compared to paydas is money. How many paydas I didn't? I will be certain that when it comes to changing silver coins to gold coins, maybe Basil is made to Beishamai that silver is the money and gold is because silver is more prevalent than gold. Maybe Basil is made to that principle. Maybe he's made it. The dabba that gold compared to silver because maybe the main focus is prevalence. But not allowed to. That no. So according to this view here, it seems that Basil holds that gold coins is that gold is money. The original way that Rebbe learned when he was young, not the way Rebbe learned when he was older.
Afterwards, you have the benefit.
The halach is like the Al Mishnah here. To stay in Rabbi Yechon, now we didn't know which one said what. Rabbi Yechon, let us conclude that Rabbi Yechon one said that according to Beishamai, you cannot transfer payras that he maintains the rage. You're not allowed to transfer payras to gold. Right? Rabbi said, also little boys dinner bedinner. He says you're not allowed to borrow a gold coin and pay back with the gold coin. Why not? Because if it's money, we said before, you're allowed to borrow money and pay back in money. Must be that it's considered like a fruit, like a commodity, and you're not allowed to saw because maybe it'll go up and down in value. Also, little is dinner bedinner, but it doesn't say dinner means silver or gold. What are we talking about here? We don't know. Let's go through it. Demai. What are we talking about? Dinner demai. Even these guys are dinner of silver. Bedinner shel kesef legabe nafshe. Is there anyone who says that silver coins, you're not transferring it to gold or anything else, transferring it to itself is not considered money? The dinner shekesel gabe nafshe, silver to silver. The equal mandama lavtiv is that anybody says that it's not money. If I borrow a silver coin from you, anybody says I can't pay back the silver coin. Everyone knows silver gabe. It's only when you compare silver to gold we have a machlekes, which is the money, which is the schayra. Talking about a golden coin. If you borrow a golden coin, you cannot pay back golden coin. In other words, we treat golden coins not like money, not like currency, but we treat it like a commodity, like paytas. Who are we talking according to? Basil said before gold coins is considered money. For He owes his money, so why can't you borrow gold and pay back in gold? The only one who told us that gold is not money is Beis Shammai. So we see clearly this is Rabbi Yechon who said this in. Rabbi Yechon holds I want that gold he cannot use ever, even compared to fruits. It's not considered money. It's considered, in other words, gold is not considered money. It's considered only a commodity. That's why you cannot borrow gold and pay it back in fashion in gold. So no, that you that gold compared to fruits is considered money, and therefore you could transfer the kedusha ma'aseh from fruits into money. The shiny halva and borrowing is different. Why? When it comes to buying and selling, that what borrowing is different than really it's money gold. Maybe you hold that you could compared to pay this, it's money. But since you're borrowing money, so therefore, since when it comes to buying and selling, there are abundant, let's say you're buying and selling gold compared to silver, we say that gold is considered commodity. Keep paid it according to Bisham paid it. Is the even though we say that word, the gold is went up and down in value because it's not really money. Is the gabe havon nami when it comes to a loan also pay to have it. We'll treat it like payers. We'll treat it like a commodity when it comes to borrowing. And Hachinam approved you. Also Ravin. Rabbi Yechanan, when Ravin came and said Rabbi Yechanan, Alpha Pishamru, also little dinner, even though he said you're not allowed to borrow a dinner and pay back with a dinner. You're not allowed to do that, but you're allowed to. So compared to fruits, gold is money, and therefore could be Rabbi Yechon is even called Beishamai compared to fruits and money. But compared to itself, when it comes to gold, not silver, it comes to gold, it's a commodity, and therefore you're not allowed to borrow an ounce of gold and pay back an ounce of gold because it goes up and down in price. It's not considered money like gold right now. It's going up in value. It's considered a commodity, and therefore it's reduced. Shema mina, it's a proof.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Was that